The tale of U-864 is an incredible one. It involves a daring mission by the Germans that is continuously hampered by bad luck. A British submarine, the HMS Venturer, sent to stop the U-boat from completing its mission, and an underwater duel that leads to the only ever sinking of a submarine by another submarine while both were submerged. In late 1944, U-864, a German Type 9 D2 U-boat, was tasked with transporting advanced technology to Japan. Codenamed Operation Caesar, the cargo included Messerschmitt jet engine parts, missile guidance systems, and 67 tons of mercury, intended to bolster Japan's faltering war efforts with cutting-edge German technology. On December 5, 1944, U-864 set sail from Kiel, Germany, heading towards Norway. The submarine was having issues with its snorkel and it needed to undergo repairs. This delayed the mission by a month. U-864 then progressed to the submarine pens at Bergen, which was subsequently attacked by the Royal Air Force. The U-boat was damaged during this raid. This further delayed the mission by a few more weeks. These delays would prove costly. Meanwhile, the British Royal Navy had caught wind of U-864's mission thanks to the work of Bletchley Park decrypting Enigma. The British feared that if U-864 completed its mission, it would allow the Japanese to prolong their war in the Pacific. So the Royal Navy dispatched HMS Venturer, a V-class submarine commanded by Lieutenant James Launders, to intercept and destroy the German U-boat. If it wasn't for the repairs U-864 had to undergo at Bergen and Horten, then it would have been too late. But this delay allowed the HMS Venturer to catch up. This is the first bit of bad luck which will lead to the fateful encounter. On February 6, 1945, U-864 left the Bergen area, unaware that the Venturer was lurking in the vicinity. The British submarine had been patrolling the waters off the coast of Fedje, Norway, in anticipation of U-864's passage. U-864 initially passed through Fedje and passed the Venturer undetected, but one of her engines began to misfire, which necessitated a return to Bergen for yet more repairs. U-864 once again encountering some tragic luck. Now, U-864 had to sneak through Fedje and the lurking Venturer once again. But with a misfiring engine, the Venturer was able to pick up the spurting submarine on her hydrophone. After some time, a mast was spotted, it being either U-864's periscope or snorkel. The Venturer continued to track the U-boat via the hydrophone and determined that it was zigzagging. This indicated that U-864 had detected the Venturer. After several hours of tense cat-and-mouse maneuvering, the two submarines found themselves in close proximity. Launders realised that the U-boat wasn't going to surface, and with his own batteries draining, it was now or never. But to launch torpedoes at a submerged target is incredibly difficult. To launch a torpedo at a target, the submarine must calculate a firing solution. The process began with detecting and identifying the target, typically using a periscope. Once a target was spotted, the crew needed to estimate its range, speed, and course. Range finding was achieved through a periscope stadimeter, which used the known height of the target to measure the distance. Estimating the target's speed involved tracking its position over time, requiring careful plotting on a plotting board to determine how fast it was moving. With range and speed data in hand, the next step was to calculate the target's course. This involved plotting the target's successive positions to derive a straight line or curve indicating its direction. Combining the target's speed and course information allowed the submarine to predict its future position. This complex process became exponentially more difficult when targeting a submerged vessel. For one, visual detection via periscope wasn't possible. Instead, submarines had to rely entirely on sonar to detect and track the enemy. Sonar provided less precise data than visual sightings, making it harder to estimate range, speed, and course accurately. Additionally, sound waves could be distorted or masked by underwater currents, thermal layers, and the noise of other vessels, complicating the interpretation of sonar readings. Submarines also moved in 3 dimensions, adding depth to the calculations, which was not a difficult factor when targeting surface vessels. The firing solution for a submerged target required a very advanced level of skill and intuition. Sonar operators had to interpret faint echoes and subtle changes in sound to track the enemy's movement accurately. The complexity and uncertainty of underwater acoustics meant submerged submarines never really engaged with each other because it was practically impossible. But with no other option, Launders, exhibiting exceptional skill and determination, meticulously calculated the firing solution using the best available information from the sonar. At 12:12 PM, Venturer launched a spread of 4 torpedoes, all with slightly different firing solutions to increase the chances of success. 3 of the torpedoes missed, but U-864 ran into one more bit of bad luck. In her attempt to evade the torpedoes, it unwillingly steered directly into the last torpedo, causing a catastrophic explosion that sent the German U-boat and its 72 crew members to the bottom of the sea. This engagement marked the first and only instance in history where a submerged submarine successfully sank another submerged submarine. The wreck of U-864 remained undiscovered for decades, shrouded in the depths of the ocean. It wasn't until March 2003 that the Norwegian Navy located the wreckage, lying at a depth of approximately 150 meters. The discovery of the wreck also revealed the environmental hazard posed by the mercury on board, prompting discussions about the potential risks and remediation efforts. It was eventually decided to bury the submarine in tens of thousands of tons of rocks and sand. For his success in the mission, Launders was awarded a bar to his Distinguished Service Order, and several other crew members also garnered awards. I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Odd Historian. This is a brand new channel, so please let me know what you liked, what I can improve, and please let me know your odd or lesser known bit of history. See you next time.